It happened at dawn on Monday the 9th of April. The Lincolns and Somersets went over the top, and their padre went with them. Our target? To capture Orange Hill. We went through a sequence of drains and sewers to avoid observation by the enemy. Each man carried more than half his body weight in kit. Rifle, bayonet, steel helmet, shovel, ground sheet, 2 days' rations, 3 sandbags, 170 rounds of ammunition, 2 Mills bombs and 1 flare. So much weight it was agreed to dispense with greatcoats, and when those greatcoats were discarded, the snow set in. 3 lines of German trenches ahead of us. 12th Division went through and captured those by noon. By the end of the day, 37th Division had captured Orange Hill. 3 days fighting followed, heavy casualties. My ambulance training soon kicked in. I was ferrying men back from the line. Some recognised me. I think it gave them some comfort, some familiarity. I prayed with some of them. I prayed for all of them, each and every one of them, along with those who didn't make it back. There's a quote often misattributed to Stalin, which is that 1 death is a tragedy, 1 million deaths is a statistic. And I don't think I fully understood the meaning of that until I researched Hardy. Because for all of us, we have an understanding of the First World War, and we know that millions of people lost their lives, and we know about the all appalling stories. But to actually truly begin to understand the truth of the war, you have to really look at one person's story. And it's through the lens of that person's life that you then begin to see and understand the full history of the First World War. And that's what I found with Hardy. Seeing him, understanding him, getting to know him as a man, and getting to see what he did and what he achieved, and the backdrop to what he was doing, the landscape within which he was operating, I now have a much more full, I think, and broad understanding of the war and its full implications. But it's only through getting to know Hardy that I've been able to discover that. I've tried very hard through the whole process to be as authentic as possible, hence the uniform and the boots. I mean, I know, for example, that the boots aren't exactly right, and I'm sure that the eagle-eyed amongst us will tell me where I've gone wrong with bits of the uniform. But what I do know is genuinely correct is the medal ribbon for the awards that Hardy received: the Military Cross, the Distinguished Service Order, and the Victoria Cross. I've tried very hard. And that's not only for the authenticity, for the look of things, but it's also to properly respect Hardy and the people that he represented. So I found the uniform, and I started looking for other bits and pieces. And one of my favourites is this Brodie helmet, which I found on eBay. Someone in the First World War wore this in a trench. And it's extraordinary to think that somebody actually stood in a trench in the First World War wearing this helmet, and I only hope it saved their lives. Not only is there very little of Hardy in his own words, there are also very few images of him. There's one famous photograph of him, but I did suddenly in my research, and purely by chance, come across a little piece of film of Hardy receiving his VC from the King in France. He couldn't quite understand why he was one of only 3 chaplains to receive the VC during the First World War. Yes, that's me, the Rev Theodore Bayley Hardy, temporary chaplain to the forces, 4th class, Military Cross, Distinguished Service Order, and, as of today, Victoria Cross, for most conspicuous bravery and devotion to duty on numerous occasions. I told them they had the wrong man, but they insisted. They wouldn't listen. And there's my daughter, Elizabeth. My word, you can see her mother in her and her brother William. Isn't it when you're drowning that your life is supposed to flash before your eyes? Well, mine just did. And perhaps I was drowning in embarrassment, drowning in nostalgia, drowning in humiliation. That's a heady cocktail. I've been near to death and seen death many times these last couple of years, but never experienced anything quite like that.